Hello, everybody. So it's been a while here. I've been ill. I think many of us this Christmas, and I'm much more recovered now. So I felt the energy just to come here and share a bit about how the importance of healing those insecurities and accessing higher levels of confidence. Because when we overcome this resistance, when we overcome these fears, we can fully step into our purpose. Not only our purpose, but create and manifest the life that we desire. This is why for me, the number one key ingredient is confidence. And even if you think you are confident, I always tell this to my community, to my clients, that there are always higher states of consciousness. This includes confidence, okay? So I'm gonna, hello, see who's here in the chat. Hi. Okay, let's get started then. So the topic is healing these insecurities to fully step into our purpose. And I came here to share a bit about it because it's very connected to the retreat that I have this Saturday, 11th of January. And it's connected to abundance and purpose, which is the relationship that we also have with our masculine energy as women and as men, even if the retreat is only for women. So I want you to observe the areas of your life in which right now you want to expand or grow, but you feel like something is holding you back. Okay? When I say that something is holding you back, it's like, Anna, I want to expand in my career, or I want to leave my 9-to-5 job and start my business or step into my purpose. Because your purpose can be anything. Your purpose can be like starting a business, or it can be a career path, okay? Doesn't have to necessarily be a business, okay? So when we feel that something is holding us back, it is really fear, okay? And I just want to share a bit how this looked for me when I fully stepped into my purpose, okay? Because many of you asked me, like, how is it that you have this confidence and express this way, this and that? And it wasn't always like that, okay? It wasn't always like that. I remember even at university or even school, I wouldn't even do a presentation. Like, literally, I would shit in my pants. It was horrible for me. One, because it wasn't aligned to my purpose, and two, because we all experience fears that are holding us back from our truest potential, okay? And there's always, again, higher levels for all of us to experience more confidence, more love, more abundance. This is a path of growth, okay? Now, what is the purpose of fear? Because we tend to resist to this fear, we tend to run away from this fear, and we numb ourselves in so many ways. And the way that I see fear, it comes with so much wisdom, because it's telling where your beliefs are not aligned. It's telling about you where your insecurities, emotional blockages are. So one of the things that I've learned, especially like this year, is to befriend with those fears. Not to run away from those fears, because they contain a message. And I actually uploaded here in Instagram one of my queen's testimonial on her biggest breakthrough was moving through those fears and having tools to move through those fears because she was holding herself back at an unconscious level, okay? This has always happened at an unconscious level. So when we feel that something is holding us back, it is really fear. And for me, before I stepped fully into my purpose, into what I do and share now, okay, this showed up in me not taking the action to leave my job, okay? Something that it's true is that I've always listened to what I love. For me, it was never about, I want to step into this career because of the money. No, I was a teacher. I was a high school teacher. I also studied psychology, this and that. So it was really vocational. I was always looking for something that connected me to my heart, that I could serve, that I would love. Yet, I still felt back then as an employee that I was in a box, okay? And it was this golden cage. And I told myself all the amazing stories to stay there, but there wasn't growth or expansion in those, in the career. And what I was always craving was more growth, more impact, serving more people, this and that, no? So, the way that I felt it was holding me back, it was through procrastination. I would always tell myself that it was never the right time, never the right time to invest, never the right time to leave my career. Wait for you to save and have this in the bank account to then take action. And like, life was just happening and I was still in the same place. Nothing was changing because I wasn't taking the action. I wasn't listening to what fully felt aligned with me, and it was the fear. It was the fear that was holding me back, and I wasn't embracing it. I didn't have the tools back then, or I wasn't working back then with mentors or coaches or healers to actually move through it. And the moment that I started doing this work, this is when I literally decided, like, Anna, if you want to step fully into your purpose, like, this is no longer aligned with you. This is no longer aligned with you, this career. It is creating something from your own uniqueness. It is creating something from your authenticity. And what I did, like, it just didn't exist in the psychology world or in the coaching space. So it had to be like from me being me full time. Not a me in a job, not a me with my friends, but being me full time, embracing that part, this uniqueness, and creating something that represented like who I was. That's it. And it seems simple, but the mind like comes up with so many stories that you believe to be true that keep you exactly where you are. And I see this over and over and over again in many of my clients, know how we have to shift all those excuses that we have created, which is really fear in form of excuses, in form of procrastination, in form of overthinking, in form of busyness, in form of it's never the perfect time. And we stay exactly where we are, living a very frustrated life because a part of us is yearning for more, but then there's the other part, which is your ego, which is your fears, that is telling you, no, stay where you are. Where you are, it's just okay. But it's not about living an okay life. This is my invitation of, answering with your heart that if everything were possible, because it is, you can do, have anything in this life. If everything were possible, what do you truly desire? What truly connects you? What feels aligned with you? Because that is the purpose of what we came here to do in this planet Earth, to grow, to evolve, and to live a life that we truly love, that is aligned to who we are and who we're evolving into. Yeah. So I'm sharing this like a story because the transition from a career to my own business came up with so many insecurities, so many fears, and it was incredible, but I was always waiting for saving an amount of money, like so many different excuses. I have to still implement what I'm learning with my mentor, this and that, but then I wouldn't take the action. So I would stay in the same place and then nothing changed. I was just like, my calling was each time bigger. My soul was yearning for more, yet I was staying where I was. And that is the fear. The fear keeps you where you are. The fear makes you play small. The fear just wants to keep you safe, but it's really like, this is the trap, that we fall into. We think that that's going to make us like feel safe, yet we're not living a life that we truly desire. So, in that transition, I remember like, I just like with no plan or anything, no savings, no help, nothing. My calling was so big that I was like, this, I finish here. Like literally, like I decided that day, I called my boss that day, and that was the day that I was like, I'm no longer gonna be here with like as an employee. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just creating my own business. And it happened, and it came with the biggest fears because I didn't have any kind of support. My parents back then had shut down because it was COVID back then. They had shut down their business. So literally like no support, no savings, nothing. So the fears were amplified times 100. But my calling and my why was bigger than that fear. This is why it's so important to have like, when you're connected to your purpose, your why is going to be so big that it's going to be even bigger than those fears, and you're just going to move through them. Now, in that process, many things, there were many activations, okay? the fear of loss arised. I have done and still do a lot of work with my masculine energy, which is connected to this fear of loss, connected to money. And this is in every human being. There's nobody here that came to this planet Earth without that wounding. We all have this fear of loss. Okay, it's what we do with it, and uncovering deeper layers of it. And this would show up in many ways, like feeling stuck, not knowing where to start, this and that, or not taking the actions back then. And so I had to move through many different fears, and I hired back then, and still do, mentors, healers, and I did this work. So this work is like, you can do it alone. You can. The thing is that it just takes much, much, much longer. And I know that the quantum leaps that I've had, it's not because I've done it alone. It's because I've allowed myself to receive support, and I still do. And many people ask me, like, how do you still do work with coaches or mentors? Because I'm in constant evolution, and there are blind spots that I don't see. That's why it's subconscious. Your subconscious is what's creating basically your whole reality. And when I say subconscious, it's not only your subconscious based on your past experiences. We carry the codes as well of our ancestors. We carry the codes that are gifts, and also the shadow part, which is the repressed fears and wounds that we came here to embrace and acknowledge, to alchemize it. So when we try to ignore that, life is just going to keep showing you, so you finally see and do something about that. So going back to the question, if you feel right now like that something is holding you back, these are the fears, these are the insecurities, and it's understanding why the fear comes in first place. It's befriending with it. Okay, there is something here that wants to keep me just playing safe, staying where I am. What is the worst thing that can happen? And starting to be connected to this present moment, to your emotions and to your body, even through the words that I express. What does it reflect in you? What are you feeling in your body? Because the fear only wants to be, and every emotion only wants to be, moved. That's why it's called emotion. Sorry, the Bluetooth just connected to one of my speakers. So the emotions only want to be moved. That's why emotion is called energy in motion. But what we tend to do is find many ways to numb them, through scrolling through social media, through Netflix, through being busy, addicted to work, addicted to chaos, all these things. That is just keeping you busy, but because you are ignoring what's happening here in this present moment, where all the information is. So how can this show up? So you bring awareness, because the first step is awareness. The first step is awareness. This can show up in the fear of failure. This can show up in the fear of being judged or being criticized. This can show up in constantly being in the mind, overthinking everything and then not taking the actions. This can look like procrastination. This can look like busyness, the imposter syndrome, doubts. So bring awareness. This is the first step, and the first home fund that I'm going to send. Bring awareness to where this is showing up, how this is showing up. Sorry. And write it down. Okay. Now better, with more light. Okay, once you write it, it's understanding, all of them. Thanks for your honesty. We do have all of them. This is the thing, what I love is when you bring honesty, because what we tend to do is we ignore this. And I think that this path requires so much, not only self-awareness, but self-honesty, which comes with so much compassion and love. Because we tend to tell us a story, oh no, I'm doing great, or confident, this and that. And this is about growth, evolution, and not making wrong any parts of ourselves, because what we make wrong is what we resist, what we repress, and then it's going to show up in the outside in many different ways. Okay. So it's understanding that we all have subconscious blockages, okay? And this is what's literally holding us back when we want to step into something new. So fear is the best indicator, because fear is only giving you an indicator of where your greatness wants to be directed, which is you shining to your fullest. So for example, for me, what I did wouldn't exist. So all the stories was like, oh my God, if I step into my authenticity and I'm me full time, who the heck is gonna pay this and da 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 and that. So I would study different degrees and different certifications, but then I wouldn't connect. I was like, something is missing, and it turned out to be that when I went and moved through all those fears, the fear of being judged, the fear of not living through what I loved, and stepped fully into my power, my authenticity, and kept doing this work, so many people started to I want to step into my power as well, step into my confidence and authenticity and get paid from it, and I feel that is what your purpose is, when you're in alignment with your authenticity. And when we start moving through those fears, on the other side is your greatness. Oh, beautiful. Okay, first of all, I'm afraid that I will not be there for my daughter full time and my family. Lovely, because what this question or reflection shows is that you associate more success, more money to less time. So here you have an association of why your subconscious is literally holding you back from experiencing more success and growth. Because if for your subconscious, having that level of success and money equals no time for your family, and you value time with your family and with your daughter, you are going to create so many different situations to not step full into your purpose. Guys, what I've just said here is so important, because just realizing this pattern and awareness of this pattern, you are seeing what is literally holding you back from stepping full into your purpose. It's like many spiritual teachers, okay, I work with many different coaches and many spiritual guides and yoga teachers and this and that. And they are so connected to service, the heart, this and that. But then when it comes to pricing themselves, money, this and that, all the blockages come, all the resistance comes, because we've associated service and love to basically free. Because the reference that we've had in our culture, especially in our religion, was, people that served didn't charge. So now my question is then, Liv, how do you serve humanity if you're living a life in which you're in a 9-to-5 job that you hate, and then you have your purpose as a hobby? You don't serve absolutely anybody like that, nor yourself. So this is why for me, the biggest work was connected to my money patterns, because I was always connected to my heart and purpose. That wasn't difficult for me since a little girl. But then when it came to receiving from it, so much resistance. And this is why I teach so many people that are in service, that want to connect to their heart, to their purpose, all these money blockages as well. This is just what's happening daily, Wow, it's incredible. Good, you're seeing something very big, girl. I'm so proud of you. Thanks for bringing this, because you just saw an association, and this is how your subconscious works. If your subconscious is creating your reality, everything that we have associated in our subconscious is what's literally creating that reality. So again, maybe I'm very purpose driven and I want to live fully from my purpose and make money from it. But then all the associations that I have connected to my purpose and money is that people are going to judge me. They're going to think that I'm not, that I'm selfish, that I'm this, that all these negative associations. So then what we do is self-sabotage. This is why it's about healing these insecurities and healing this resistance and healing these blockages, so you overcome it and step fully into that purpose and abundance. This is what my retreat is going to be about this Saturday. But if you are not here, if you're not based in Spain or in Marbella, I have so many different programs, okay? So if this is something that you want to dive deep into, you can always message me, okay? Now, the next part. Now we understand that we all have these subconscious blocks, and that when we're stepping into something new or purpose or growth or expansion, the resistance is going to come. So see the resistance as an indicator of you are going to step into your greatness, because on the other side, and this is with 100% certainty, on the other side of your fears lies your greatness, lies your purpose, lies your abundance. But what we do is this: or we retract and go back and don't move through it, or we move through it and then we're like, but when is it coming? But how's it coming? And then we're sending mixed messages to the universe because we're not fully trusting ourselves, versus holding that vibration, healing those emotions and keeping showing up. This is the thing. This is where people, not going to say mess up, but I can't find a better word. Because what we tend to do is that maybe we do take the action, but then we're like, but what if it doesn't work? And what if da-da-da-da? Or something goes wrong and then we go back. So we're not fully trusting ourselves. This is why confidence is the number one ingredient that I said at the beginning. And confidence is going to come not from you saying affirmations, I am confident, I am this, I am that. No. Confidence comes from your body, which is your subconscious, each time feeling safer in feeling it all, in feeling all the human range of emotions, in feeling safe, in experiencing as well those fears and moving through it. Because this is when your nervous system goes like, it shuts down, and then you don't feel safe, so you stay where you are. And you say, oh, this is probably the universe. This is not the way. No, it is your subconscious and your fears. Because at the beginning, when you had the clarity, you knew what you wanted. So this is why these insecurities is what keeps us as well stuck, no? Okay. So step one, we said awareness. Okay, and bring awareness of those behaviors, and also ask yourself, what am I afraid of? What am I afraid of? What is the worst that can happen? And write it down. And when you write it down, connect to your body. See the sensations, feel the emotions, versus running away from it, because we are great to make up excuses and run away from those emotions. Okay, for me, this is why like the tools that I use, well, I channel them, like I can't tell you, because I channel them and then I become a vessel and I say the words that you need to feel the emotions and alchemize them. Like I can't tell you like, this is, just do this. No, but you can start by connecting to your body, feeling what comes to you, and just observing those emotions. Something so simple that can transform your freaking life. And from there, start taking aligned action. Aligned action means like, you know what your purpose like, or what you feel called into or drawn to. You know what you would like to step into. You know what you love. You know what you love. Because if you know what you don't love, you know what you love. And from there, it's like, what action can I take today that is a step closer to what lights me up, to what I love? Yeah. And you're going to see the shifts. Okay, questions. Any questions that come up? Aw. Look, I see Mishi that's here. Like, for example, when I met her, she was in one of my events. So many resistance and fears came up on, increasing her pricing and stepping fully into her purpose. All the resistance came. And we moved through those fears and those emotions. And then she started taking aligned action. And many things happened chaos-wise. But this is when later more money started to enter as well for her. Because she kept showing up. And she still is. So I'm so proud of you. So I'm not saying it's comfortable. I'm not saying it's comfortable. This is why your why has to be a big why. Okay, no questions. Thanks for your words. You're very inspirational. Well, thank you for being here and giving time to see this, and my message here is we're in this path to keep growing and evolving, no? And sometimes we try to prove ourselves, I can do it alone. This is especially the hyper-independent woman that has the wounding with the feminine. Everything alone, and we all have blind spots. What just happened with one of the questions that one of you mentioned, no? That you just saw a blind spot. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be there for my daughter. Well, the blind spot here is that there are associations connected to you experiencing more money and less time. So you're going to sabotage the money or the other area. So that is a blind spot. And behind that, there is deeper layers. This is why, I would say that one of my biggest gifts is seeing really quickly your blind spots and transforming them even quicker. Now, we have to be open to this. And being open is connected to our feminine energy. That is openness. Both men and women have the feminine energy. Receiving is the feminine energy. Being open and connected to our body and intuition is our feminine energy. When we don't heal this energy and all the associations around the feminine, which can be weak, which can be shame, which can be guilt, so many things, this is when we're blocking our intuition. This is when we are blocking our receiving channel. And this is when we're trying to constantly prove our worth of, no, I'm going to do it alone. I can do it alone. And then it feels like it's never enough, never good enough. That is so connected to the feminine wounding, which we all have, okay? So bring awareness to those emotions and start connecting to your body and just feel the sensations. I'm going to guide you now just in a little practice. So you start tapping into it, just a short practice. So you start tapping into those emotions and alchemizing them, because it starts by bringing awareness to them. Okay. So there's no question. I'm going to guide you now. And the last thing is that we all, absolutely all human being in this planet has fears, because fear is the indicator of your growth. Okay, we all have this. The more you try to ignore and resist to it, the more it persists. The more you do something about it, see the wisdom behind it, the more you're going to alchemize it into a more expansive version of yourself. Yes, we need to show our vulnerability. It's not only showing the vulnerability, because I don't feel it's about having to demonstrate anything to anyone. It is more you feeling what wants to be felt. Because when we try to overanalyze it or overthink it, we're not really feeling it or healing it. Yes? So you having yourself, having a space for you to just observe those emotions and tap into it. But when we're busy, constantly busy, we are never present with what's happening in our body. That's why we're going to do this practice now. Okay? I'm going to guide you. So we're going to close our eyes. We're going to close our eyes. And we're going to connect to our breath. We're going to inhale through our nose and exhale. Releasing any stress, any tension. One more time, inhale and exhale. And you're going to bring this fear today in front of you. What am I afraid of? What is holding me back from me stepping into the life I desire? And just observe it. Just observe it. Don't try to change anything. There's nothing to fix. You're sitting with it today. You're bringing awareness to it. And where in your body do you feel this fear? and just stay with it. If it's in your chest, put your hands in your chest. If it's in your stomach, put your hands in your stomach. And just observe it and feel it. And if an emotion comes, feel the emotion. Don't make it wrong. Don't try to change anything. When we embrace it, we start to alchemize it. When we resist to it, we create a bigger blockage. So just give it space and movement. What is holding me back right now to step into my power, my authenticity? And maybe it's the fear of being rejected or failing, or what if it doesn't work out, or what if I'm not good enough, or what if I won't have time? And just observe those stories. Bring awareness to those stories. They are attached to a fear. And you're going to sit with those emotions, let them express, let them be felt. And just be with them. And in front of you, there's your little inner child. The version of you that is the one that has the fear. And I just want you to hug her or him. And tell him or her that you're now there. That you're going to take care of him or her. And that it's okay to feel what wants to be felt. And you're going to ask your inner child, what does he or she need? And maybe it's to stop for a while and just be with yourself. Maybe it's support. Maybe it's you telling him that he is enough, she's enough the way she is. You'll receive whatever you have to receive. Maybe it's stop making wrong parts of him or her. That she no longer has to be perfect. That she's enough the way she is. And breathe in. And breathe out. And what action can you take today that is in more alignment with the life you desire? And you're going to take that one action, and if you want to share it with me later privately to hold you accountable, please do. And you're going to commit to that action. Beautiful, guys. Thanks so much for being here. Today you experienced just a short practice to start being in tune with your emotions versus ignoring them, because this is the first step to tap into more confidence, to step into our power. And for those that want to go deeper, guys, you know that Saturday I have my day retreat. It's 90 euros. The lunch is included. And we have a special guest. I'm really excited for that one. Those that want to work with me online, I have the 1 month immersion as well. And my 6-month program. So any question, you can always message me. My DMs are open. Thank you for being here. Thank you for giving yourself this moment just of bringing awareness. What we just did is loving ourselves unconditionally. Unconditionally is with all our range of emotions, because it's very easy to love ourselves when things go well. But when fears or uncomfortable emotions come, we're our worst judges. So when we want to step into authenticity, into our fullest expression, this is what I'm talking about. It's embracing all of you. And what we tend to do is run away from these parts. Okay? So this is the first step. Love you all. Thanks so much for being here. Bye for now.